My name is Courtney Warren. I'm a clinical psychologist. I have a PhD in clinical psych. I think achievement is working incredibly hard for something that you want. It's not stopping until you have met your goal. It's going to the ends of the earth to have or be or get whatever it is that you really want in life. So growing up essentially as an only child of two professors, the expectations were pretty high. I think that they had a lot of expectations that I would be successful in whatever it was that I wanted to do. And certainly education was an expectation.
School had to get good grades.
Had to get good grades. I mean, I don't know what would have happened if I didn't get good grades, because it was really very much a part of my nature or a part of my life experience. I was not a troublemaker. I was very much a goody two-shoes kind of little kid. But if I had, I think it would have probably been a big problem. Yeah. I think being honest with ourselves is really hard in general. I think people have a very, very hard time being honest about things that they don't like about themselves. And that can lead us to, let's put it this way, whatever perception we have of ourselves in the world is going to affect the way we act in the world, the way we think about the world, the way we feel about the world, the way we feel about ourselves. And so if you have a self-deceptive tendency that protects you against anything bad, you're going to live your life with this sort of protected mechanism around you. I think self-deception is sort of our fundamental life journey, is learning to be honest with yourself about who you are, because it's the only way that you can change. Until you can acknowledge who you really are, or what you really do, your actions, your thoughts, your feelings, you can't do anything about it. So you're just going to be stuck there with yourself. I think it probably varies greatly cross-culturally based on cultural and social norms. In mainstream culture in the United States, I think that we probably define achievement according to how well we did in our careers, professionally, for the most part. And I don't think that's necessarily true in all cultures. I think in a lot of third world cultures, for example, where you have more clear gender roles, being achieved is being a really good parent or providing for your family or some version of that. So I think it can vary, but in mainstream first world Western cultures, I think we pretty much define achievement based on how smart you are and how successful you seem to be in your job.
You seem to be.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
You seem to be. I think that for the most part, if we're thinking socially, it's based on what the projected reality is of who you are. How many degrees do you have? Where did you go to school? How much money do you make? Some version of that. As opposed to what your real life career looks like in practice. Because it's all a projection at some level. How successful we may look or not look. And probably psychologically the more important thing is, do you feel successful? Do you feel achieved? Do you feel good about yourself? And the answer to that will drastically influence the way that you experience life. One thing that I study extensively is eating disorders, is my specialty in psychology. And from a media or a cultural perspective with regard to eating, if you look at what, say, 2-year-old, 3-year-old girls and boys learn about what it is to be a valuable girl or a valuable boy, it's very obvious. Just look at a kid's toy store section for a second. Yeah. Girls should be pretty pink princess, fluffy homemaker, have a baby that poops and change the diaper. And boys should be some version of strong, hold a sword, have a gun, be noble, wear army fatigues, etc. But certainly don't cry over here, right? And so we start to learn what's valuable. As we learn what's valuable, we inherently want to be valuable, right? Because that's part of the goal. And so it becomes this pressure-filled, well, I better be that, or at least pretend like I am that. So that at least you think I'm that way, so that at least you have this sort of facade version of me that's the ideal, even if I'm not really convinced that I'm that way inside.
Okay, Courtney. You told me you had a 16-month-old.
Yes.
Boy or girl?
Girl.
How is that different what are you doing differently to instill different values in her?
The first thing I'm doing differently is being fully self-aware of what I project to the degree that I'm humanly capable of it. So when I have a slight reaction to her that's based on my issues, oh my gosh, pause. Court, not okay. Not gonna pass that on to her, so I'll give you a very clear example. I hired a woman to help me take care of her, who I adore and who's wonderful, and I hired her because I think she's wonderful. And I'm working full-time. And Isabella, my daughter, came to me one day and we were just playing and she was like, Heike, which is the woman's name, in a very loving, like, where's Heike kind of way. And my first reaction, honest first reaction was, oh, she loves Heike. And then I thought, of course she loves Heike. That's why you hired Heike. Like, what? If you don't catch yourself, if you're not aware enough to catch yourself, you will pass on all of your insecurities and baggage onto everyone in your life, but particularly the little people. And so in that minute, I had to go, oh wait, honey, time out for a second, because mommy has a problem and it's not yours and I'm not gonna let you feel this. So Heike is amazing. Yes, where is Heike? She loves you. She thinks you're the greatest thing ever. And the next time I'm in a situation where I'm feeling insecure, I need to work on it, and then I want to be sure that Heike is a person that we talk about in our family, where it is not ever kind of put on my daughter to make me feel okay that she's close to somebody else. So that's a long answer to my first and most important thing that I can do to be a good parent, in my opinion, is to watch myself and be sure that what I'm communicating to her, I believe to be in her best interest, not my best interest, her best interest. And her best interest is to be able to love everybody and be her best self and not be afraid and not feel like she has to take care of me, because that is not her job.